Brownsville police now releasing the identities of the mother and son killed last Friday. The victims are 45-year-old Diana Ramos Pierce and 4-year-old William Pierce. Now, 41-year-old Donald Edward Pierce has been charged with their deaths. Their bodies were found amongst piles of rubble and tall grass after neighbors reported a foul odor coming from their Frankfurt Street home.
So how do we, as a community, as a whole, help victims before it's too late? Like in this case, we took those questions to Friendship of Women in Brownsville.
It's a large city, but bad news travels fast in Brownsville, especially when it involves the death of a child and his mother, allegedly at the hands of someone they would have trusted.
Domestic violence kind of incorporates, has all those different factors or all those different tactics.
Friendship of Women works year-round trying to prevent tragedies like that of Diana Ramos Pierce and her 4-year-old son, William.
And if someone says they're going to do something to hurt you, we shouldn't take those things lightly because they're going to do whatever they need to do to maintain that control.
The victims' advocates here not only get women who have experienced domestic violence help, but they stand by them through the court process to make sure the victim doesn't feel alone.
They can press charges. We have the the court accompaniment, which is applying for a protective order. The day of the court hearing, we can accompany the victim.
They will offer a place to stay if it's needed and work with the woman in finding a way out of an abusive relationship.
This past year alone, we serviced actually 1,066 victims just in our area alone.
But they need the victims to make the first move or their families to encourage it.
Oftentimes we're used to seeing the physical forms of violence, but there's emotional, psychological, verbal abuse, economical abuse, and isolation and intimidation. And those forms of abuse are often taken lightly or minimized either by the perpetrator, the person committing those acts, the victim, or just people in general. So we need to get better at recognizing those signs.
Now, if you are a victim or know a victim, call the crisis hotline immediately. 24 hours a day, they will pick up the call, 956-544-7412. You can call Valley-wide. Right now, family members of the victims in this case planning a benefit barbecue to help pay for funeral expenses. It will take place tomorrow at the Exxon on 4425 East 14th Street in Brownsville from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. Let's chat about this story right now. I'm on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter at Marcy KGBT.